The definition of judiciary according to the Oxford is the judges of a country or a state when they are considered as a group. The Cambridge state that the judiciary is a part of a country's government that is responsible for its legal system, including all the judges in the country's courts. Next, the purpose of judiciary is to give justice to the people. The first and foremost function of the judiciary is to give justice to the people whenever they approach it. It awards punishment to those who after trial are found guilty of violating the laws of the state or the rights of the people. The aggrieved citizens can go to the courts for seeking redress and compensation. They can do so either when they fear any harm to their rights or after they have suffered any loss. The judiciary fixes the quantity and quality of punishment to be given to the criminals. It decides all cases involving grant of compensations to the citizens. Next purpose is the interpretation and application of laws. One of the major functions of the judiciary is to interpret and apply laws to specific cases. In the course of deciding the disputes that come before it, the judges interpret and apply laws. Every law needs a proper interpretation for getting applied to every specific case. The function is performed by the judges. The law means what the judges interpret it to mean. Next is the protection of rights. The judiciary has the supreme responsibility to safeguard the rights of the people. A citizen has the right to seek the protection of the judiciary in case his rights are violated or threatened to be violated by the government or by private organizations or even fellow citizens. In all such cases, it becomes the responsibility of the judiciary to protect his right of the people. The judiciary has its own court system, so let us look at the simple chart. The courts is divided into two, which is superior courts and subordinate courts. As for the superior courts, there is federal courts, courts of appeal, High Court in Malaya, and High Court in Sabah and Sarawak. As for the subordinate court, there is Sessions Court, Magistrates Courts, and Court of Children. Besides that, there's also a special court which hears any civil or criminal action against the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or any of the 9 Malay rules.
Next, legislature. Based on Cambridge Dictionary, legislation is a group of people in a country or part of a country who have the power to make and change laws. In other words, legislature can also define as law-making branch of the government. Legislature can legislations authorizing to create, amend or repeal laws. Besides that, it can create, impose new tax, additional tax, or cancel any tax. So it can approve the annual budgets. It acts as a representative of the people in the government and serves as a forum for criticisms and a focus for public opinions on national affairs, and are empowered for passing, amending, and repealing the acts of laws. The example of legislation, such as the bicameral parliament, consists of the lower house, the House of Representatives or Dewan Rakyat, literally the chamber of the people, and the upper house, the Senate or Dewan Negara, where literally the chamber of the nation. Then, Senate or Dewan Negara, which is 70 seats, consist of 44 members, appointed by the king, and 26 indirectly elected by 13 states legislatures. Members will serve for 3-year terms. And the last one, House of Representatives or Dewan Rakyat, contains with 2,022 seats, where the members directly elected in single seats, constituency by simple majority, vote to serve for 5-year terms.
Executive. Definition of executive: the branch of the government that put the laws into action, which is the person who enforce the law that has been made by Parliament. Refer in Cambridge Dictionary, executive means the part of a government that the part of the government that is responsible for making certain that laws and decisions are put into action. Purpose: maintain law and order in the state, and also executive organize. Example: cabinet, parliament, and government affairs. Military and police. Definition of military: a group of people that give the power and arms to protect something, usually country. Main unit in military are Army, Navy, Air Force, but there are division and special sub-unit under each main unit respectively that will take action depends on threat level. Definition of police: a group of people that give the powers and some of them arms in order to maintain security in the country. They are divided into few units depend on their specialties. Purpose: generally in their principal duty is to maintain law and order, prevent and investigate crime, and also to protect country safely.
Bureaucracy. First of all, Malaysian bureaucracy is dominated by the ethnic Malays. Although most are loyal to the ruling party, civil servants have been forced to sign good behavior documents that make it easy for the government to fire them if they criticize the government, because the government is official seldom quarrel in public. So first, bureaucracy. A bureaucracy is an organization composed of multiple departments, each with policy and making decisions, whether authority publicly or privately owned, made up of several policy-making decision departments or units. And people who work in bureaucracy informally known as a bureaucrat. There are several definitions for bureaucracy. Based on Investopedia, a bureaucracy is the specific form of organization defined by complexity, division of labor, permanence, professional management, hierarchical coordination and control, strict chain command, and legal authority. It is distinguished informally and collegial organization. In its ideal form, bureaucracy is impersonal and rational, and based on its rules rather than type of kinship, friendship, and charismatic authority. Bureaucratic organization can be found both in public and private institutions. The purpose of bureaucracy that we can see, such as collecting fee, issuing permit, giving a tax, and play a key role in running public administration. The main purpose of bureaucracy is first, implementation of governmental policies and law by carry out and implements the policies of the government. Next, role in policy formulation, which is to supply the data needed by the political executive for formulating the policies. Then, running of administrations by making decision of the government. Advisory function, where they advise the political executive. Role in legislative works, they draft the bill which the minister submit to the legislation for lawmaking. Semi-judicial works involve the grant of permits, license, tax concessions and quotas, collection of tax and disbursement of financial benefits, record keeping by collects and analyze all data needed pertaining to all activities of the government, and the last one, which is role in public relations, because they are the main agents who establish direct contacts with the peoples and they serve as two-way links. The federal bureaucracy makes regulation through an administrative process known as rule-making. Regulation can be challenged in courts and they are not put into effect until the issue are resolved. Bureaucracy can be found everywhere, such as State Department of Motor Vehicle, Health Maintenance Organization, financial lending organizations like Savings on Loan, and insurance companies are all bureaucracies that many people deal with regularly.
Alright, next is legal profession. The legal profession in our Malaysian country is a fused profession where there is no division between solicitors and barristers as in England. Legal profession in Malaysia are mainly divided into two structures, which the Malaysian Bar and the Bar Council. Currently, there are different legislation as you can see in the picture below that apply in West Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak. But the 1976 Legal Profession Act is the main statute that governing the legal profession in Malaysia.
This legal profession plays their important role as an advisor or an upholder of the rights of the common people. They usually help in solving problems or disputes between various entities, whether it be a quarrel between two individuals, between the government and the common people, or anyone for a matter. They are also responsible for advising their clients on the right path and the legal solution that should be taken, while at the same time helps to reach the settlement in the courts of law. As we can see today, there are many occupations under this legal profession, such as lawyer, sheriff, and judge.
Well, civil society is the organization that are not associated with government, for example, school and universities. Civil society organizations play multiple roles in our country. Firstly, as the middle party, they become important source of any information for both citizen and government. Then, they monitor every government policy and action and hold government accountable. They also engage in advocacy and offer alternative policy for government. Not just for government only, their policy also capable for the private sector and other institutions, as long as their policy are not break any law. As NGOs, they always deliver service, especially for the poor and underserved people. They defend citizen rights and work to change and uphold social norms and behavior. Civil society can define as two meanings. First, the aggregate of non-governmental or organization and institution that manifest interest and will of citizens. Or the second one, individual or organization which are independent from the government. Even they can define in many terms, their main point is they still the organization or individual that are not linked or associated with the government. Yet, civil society refers to the space for collective action, ground shared interests, purpose, and value, generally distinct from the government and commercial for-profit action.